Hello and welcome to another episode of the Mixtape Matinee. I'm your host Cole.
And I'm Court.
And we have a very special episode out this week, guys. We've been talking about it for a while, but we finally did it. We got Frankie Traandruppel on, and we were able to ask him some questions and do a little interview.
We've talked about Frankie's music now on 2 different episodes. So this was a really exciting opportunity, and we hope you guys enjoy.
So here's the interview with Frankie Traandruppel. Well, thanks for being on, Frankie, on our podcast. We've been talking about having you on for a while with our previous episode talking about your album. So thanks for being on here.
Yeah, it's great to be here. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we're super excited. This is super cool.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's super cool that you guys found my little album online and that you guys liked it too. So totally appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess my first question is, where did you grow up, Frankie? Did you grow up in Belgium?
Yeah, so currently I'm living in Antwerp, but I come from like a really small town. It's called Diest. It's a very rural, small place. And then, I got into the whole music thing when I was really young, and there were only like 3 other people in Diest who were deeply invested into music.
Oh, okay.
So,
cool.
yeah, so it got a little too small for me. So I went out to Antwerp, because there's the whole music scene going on here. And but always lived in Belgium. Yeah, sure.
Okay. So growing up, what kind of music did you grow up on?
Well, I used to be a lot into like skating. I was a bit of an edgy teenager, I guess, when I was young.
Nice.
Yeah.
I just do you guys know Ed Templeton, the artist?
Ed Templeton?
Yeah, Ed Templeton.
I don't think
I
I
know.
Yeah, so he made a few skate movies, and there was a lot of Sonic Youth, grungy, Dinosaur Jr. music that they used.
Right.
So I got hooked on that, the whole noise scene when I was younger, which for me was a good way to, the internet was also coming up. So for me it was an entire treasure trove of obscure indie experimental stuff that I was into when I was a teenager.
Nice.
So I guess that's sort of what shaped me. Yeah.
Okay, cool. What was when you started playing music? What was the first instrument?
I always played guitar.
Okay.
My dad is also a musician.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, very cool.
So yeah. So I was fortunate enough to grow up in a place where there was always instruments around. And my daddy had a band, so there was always a drum set, and we had microphones, guitars, bass. So for me, it was the perfect way to learn every instrument a little bit. My main instrument obviously is guitar, but on the record too, I did the drums, I do the bass, the keys.
Oh yeah, we wanted to ask. Yeah, so do you collaborate with other people when you play live, or
Yeah.
how? Yeah. Who do you most often collaborate with?
I have my childhood friends, sort of. They play in the band with me.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. I'm very very lucky to have those guys. So what happens is, we used to rehearse together, and I always had the idea of a song, and then I try to explain it like, if you play this, and we can go to that part in the chorus or whatever, and it just became easier after a while to just record everything and to tell them like, this is what I was thinking, and it sort of just evolved like that. Yeah.
So you collaborate with your bandmates then, and that's kind of how the songs are written, or do you already have most of it written by the time that you bring it to them?
Yeah, I have most of it written.
Okay.
Yeah.
And are you a music first kind of guy, or do you do the lyrics first, or kind of both?
Kind of both, really.
Yeah.
It depends. If I have like a certain phrase or something in my head that keeps going in a loop for about a week. I'm like, I have to do something with these words. I got to write a song about it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then at other times, it's the same, but then with a riff that gets stuck in your head, and then the words just naturally come. It depends. It's whatever comes first, really, and it's whatever sparks like the inspiration. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just, if you have a start point, it could be like a sentence or a riff about something to go off. Um, yeah, but it's both.
The one question I had is for, because I really like the Lone Ranger on your album. It's for that song. What was the inception for that? I did read somewhere that the lyrics are based off of "For Whom the Bell Tolls." Is that correct? Or
Yeah, exactly.
okay,
Yeah, it was yeah, in that phase of my life. So I read For Whom the Bell Tolls,
uh-huh,
and it just resonated with me so much at that specific moment,
mm-hmm,
because I was also going through like a rough period, and just the way that in the lyrics I sing, keeping our heads above water,
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
which to me kind of felt like that. At that point in my life, I did feel like I was keeping my head above water. I just really connected with that book, and I needed lyrics for the song, so I was like,
That's
"Fuck
awesome.
it, I'm just gonna do a summarization of For Whom the Bell Tolls, and see who picks up on it." And
Oh,
yeah,
no, I love that song. Was it lyrics first or melody, or because the melody on that song's super catchy
The
too?
melody's great.
oh, thank you. Yeah, but yeah, thanks. It was the melody first, so I was rehearsing with my bandmates, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm a very I'm the type of person, I usually perform under pressure. So I was
Yeah.
like, "Do you have a new song?" And I'm like, "I don't have anything," and I just came up with the riff on the spot, and everyone was digging it, and then was like, "Okay, I'll try and put it into a song later this week," and
Yeah.
yeah, just finished recording it and then sent it to the guys, and they all liked it. So yeah.
I love when that happens, when you kind of get that lightning in a bottle moment. I also write music too, and yeah, that sometimes happens to me. So that's cool that
Yeah,
happened with that song.
I wish I could be more of a proactive type of guy with writing songs, but usually it always ends up, when I'm making an album and the deadline keeps getting closer and closer, I'm like, fuck, I don't have enough songs. And usually at that point, it's like I make 10 in a week or something. And I wish it wasn't always like that, because sometimes it takes a lot out of me. Um, but that's unfortunately, yeah, it's just the way it goes, usually.
Speaking of references in your songs, I saw on Genius that you've annotated a lot of the songs that you
Yeah,
have, and
yeah, I
that
did.
you have a lot of references in there. Like some of it's to The Simpsons, some of
Oh
it's
yeah,
to A Ship Sailing is to
Moby Dick.
Moby Dick. You
yeah.
have references to like an Australian new wave film. I'm trying to remember
Yeah, I don't know
what
you're talking
what
Um,
about that.
Wake Up,
Yeah.
or what
Yeah.
is it?
fuck yeah. Now I'm thinking about it too.
Yeah. But you have a lot of references. You reference Charles Bukowski. You
Yeah.
reference. So are you a pretty big reader then? And it seems
Yeah.
like you have a few literary references. Seem like you're a fan of The Simpsons too.
I'm a big fan of The Simpsons. Where do you think I got my English from? Yeah. No. I think it's funny. Yeah. I like reading a lot. And it's just fun to like put little Easter eggs in there every now and then.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, I know it's also funny that I annotated my own songs
No, it's
on
awesome.
Genius. Yeah, I just
I
think
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 You
it's
should
funny.
do that, Cole.
yeah, I need to do that to my own music. You gave me the
Cole's a
idea.
musician, and if he put his lyrics out there, I think it'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that. So you listened to the podcast where we talked about your album, but yeah, one of the questions was, I guess, about the name of the album, Castling. What's that in reference to?
Um, oh, yeah, of course you guys said it in the episode too. It's a move in chess.
Okay, so we got that
Um,
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, but it has multiple layers. So at first of all, I think the castling move, I think it's a very elegant chess move, which I don't know. I'm also the type of person, like, when I get a title stuck in my head and I'm like, this is it. It'll stay that way forever, and it just clicked with me. There's a number of reasons. So first of all, the elegant move in chess, I like that a lot. With my then girlfriend, I know it probably doesn't have anything to do with the word castling, but we were moving together, and I was sort of seeing it as castling, like we're building our castle or whatever.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it sounds a bit corny, but there were just a few reasons why it clicked with me,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know. I didn't. Sometimes I don't read too much into it myself. I just, I go with a title, and I'm like, fuck it. And afterwards,
Yeah.
I find reasons, like, hey, it sort of pertains to this
Yeah.
also a bit, and
Yeah,
um,
double meanings and stuff. That's cool. And then as far as the I did have a question about the album artwork. Is that something you made or some like how did you make that?
yeah. How did I just use a bunch of magic markers and some arts and crafts paper I bought in the local fucking arts and crafts store.
Really?
Yeah,
So it was a very kind of impromptu kind of art session, I guess. You just made that art
yeah,
piece. Okay.
yeah. I do a bit of everything. So I try to, because I have a booklet carrying around with me at all times, so I can write lyrics whenever something pops in my head. I
Mhm.
have my sort of arts and crafts stuff whenever I feel inspired or whatever. I have my camera. I have all these kinds of things, and I end up having uh, like a back catalog of all kinds of stuff that I can go back to. I'm like, fuck, I need artwork, and then, hey, shit, yeah, I made this thing like a year ago, and yeah, it kind of feels appropriate, and
Yeah,
um,
when you have stuff like that all around, then you can get inspiration from a lot of different mediums and yeah, that's
yeah,
cool that you use that to write music.
I've noticed a lot of your EPs have their own artwork.
yeah,
Um, is that all from you as well? Did you create all of that?
yeah, yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Very talented. Very cool. Very cool.
It's just I like to, how do I say this? It's when you're making music, or you're making art, it's just, I think it's important to have enough stuff lying around, so if the inspiration strikes, you can immediately grab on it, if that makes
Right.
any sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's just that sometimes, you guys make music too. Do you know the feeling that when you go to bed and you have like an idea for a song, and you're like, oh, that's great, I'll remember it, and tomorrow I'll write it down, but you're gonna wake up and you're totally gonna forget it. So for
Right,
me, it's
right, yeah.
very important to yeah, have all that stuff lying around when inspiration strikes, so you can
Hmm.
immediately make use of it, something
Right.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I like that. For a lot of your music, do you record to tape or do you use I know that you're telling me that you use Logic. How do you go about recording?
Yeah, I thought it was funny. I heard in the podcast that you guys said that I modify my voice, or that it sounds distorted or
Yeah.
something. 50% of the tracks I record are on a Tascam 4-track recorder.
Okay, cool.
Oh, okay.
So it's not necessarily an aesthetic choice. It's a bit of an aesthetic choice, but it's also just the compression on the tape, and it just comes with the 4-track quality. So
Yeah.
maybe like 50% of the tracks I make is on a Tascam 4-track
Mhm.
recorder, and then when there's a song, for instance, like the Lone Ranger, that needs a little bit more detail, then I
Mhm.
will record it on Logic, and I have my interface and my mixing table,
Right.
which I still try to get analog distortion in there with my mixing table, but
Mhm.
yeah, it depends. 50% is with Logic, the other is with the Tascam 4-track recorder.
Okay, cool. And then, so I know that on the podcast they talked about your name. Is that a reference to Suicide, the Suicide song?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
sweet.
Awesome.
I'm glad I got that right.
Frankie
Yeah,
Teardrop. Yeah.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I love Suicide, so I'm glad that was so cool when I like figured that
You
out. It's
figured it out.
Yeah.
Do
yeah.
we pronounce your name right? Frankie Traandruppel. How do you
Almost.
Okay,
Frankie.
tell us how to
Yeah, it's Frankie Traandruppel.
Traandruppel.
Traandruppel. Yeah,
Okay,
close enough. Close enough. Yeah.
Close enough for us
I'll try.
Americans, I guess.
Yeah.
With my American accent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Traandruppel has a good ring to it too. So yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
I love that. The other question too I wanted to ask about the Castling album is the solo on Working Retail. Was that just a total, just spur of the moment thing that you did, or had you had that solo written out?
No. But spur of the moment thing. The interesting part, because it's also a Tascam 4-track recorded song, and sometimes the song gets made while I'm recording it. So there's a lot of tracks on Castling that are just it's like the first take or something, to really, because I'm
Wow, that's awesome.
yeah, I like the lo-fi mentality of like trying to capture the moment, and I'm the type of person, like, I do 3 takes of a solo or whatever, and I get bored with it, and I lose that initial you
Spark.
know yeah, exactly. And so um most of the time it's just yeah, it's there's a lot of luck involved, I record a take like that and I'm like, fuck, that's awesome. Also with the 4-track, if you want to re-record something, you have to delete the entire take.
Yeah.
So you think twice about every time you record something, and there are some mistakes in there here and there, but I'm like, fuck it. It's cool the way it is, and that way it just stays a little bit unpolished and a bit rough around the edges.
I particularly like that solo on that song. I
Is
don't
it
know.
great?
It's super cool. It's raw, and I can feel the energy, kind of the anger a little bit too in there. But
Voila, then the message came across perfect. Very
yeah,
happy to hear that.
Sounds
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you've worked retail.
I did work retail back then. Yeah. I fucking hated it a lot, so hence the song. Yeah.
Where are your eggs?
Yeah, you guys heard that?
Yeah.
Where the fucking eggs? Man, I got that question so many times. So fuck yeah.
Yeah. We've compared you in our podcast to the Velvet Underground. I'm curious what you think of that comparison.
Yeah, it's super great to be compared to the Velvet Underground, to Lou in general. I hope I get to do my own thing though. That I'm not
Yeah,
too
of
much of a what's the word I'm looking for here?
Copycat.
Yeah, too
I don't
much
know
of
if
a
that's it.
copycat. But
No,
yeah,
I think you definitely do your own thing with it for sure. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I grew up with Lou. I just like I have a very like my favorite vocalists are the ones who do sort of like the parlando talking type of
Right.
Mhm.
singing.
Yeah.
So like Lou Reed, Marky Smith, even Bob Dylan at times,
Yeah.
and yeah, um, that type of swagger. I mean, Lou is one of the best to do it. So or Jonathan Richman, the type of people,
Oh yeah,
they,
Jonathan
they
Richman. Yeah.
yeah, they don't even have to record music. I can just listen to Jonathan Richman talking for 5 minutes, and I think it's great. So
Yeah. The
um,
Modern Lovers. That's a great band.
yeah, they're
Yeah.
fantastic.
Who are some of your other influence musically? Like who do you consider your inspiration musically?
Yeah, well, the big four for me are, like I said, it's Lou Reed, Bob Dylan. I like The Fall a whole lot. guided
Oh,
by
yeah.
voice.
Oh, that's awesome.
Marky Smith, yeah, we did
We
an
did a
episode
po-
on one of their
yeah.
albums. So
Yeah.
I saw it, perverted by language or
yeah,
something.
Yeah.
yep,
Yeah. I have to check it, but I thought I was cool. I said, yeah, fucking sure, perverted by language.
Yeah, it's a great album.
Yeah, I've been listening a lot to the Modern Lovers too lately. But usually, I try to not to listen to them too much. My how do I say, my main influence is because it's already so embedded in me
Yeah,
that that if I write something, it's obviously gonna be influenced by them. So
right.
um, so I try to, expand my palette of the stuff I listen to. I listen to a lot of
Yeah.
hip hop too. I saw that you
Mhm.
guys had MF Doom in your top artists of the Spotify rap
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that
thing.
was me. Yeah,
So
I
yeah,
love MF Doom. So
yeah, listening to a lot of hip hop too lately. You know, the little obscure punk bands that are sprouting everywhere nowadays. I like to check those out too.
Yeah.
Trying to
That's
keep my
cool.
finger on the pulse or
um,
whatever.
yeah, as far as bands in Belgium, who are some bands that we should check out?
Um, some of my favorite bands are, there's a guy here in Antwerp with whom I collaborate with often. He has a garage punk band called More, which is spelled Moar.
Okay,
You
Okay.
you guys are definitely gonna get a kick out of it. Very talented guy. Um, he also has a different band called Brorlap. Few other bands, The Future Dead, I love a lot. Poppel. I'll send you guys, a few bands to check out
Yeah.
if you
okay,
guys are up
cool.
for
Yeah,
it.
and
Yeah.
we'll add it to the show notes too, so people can click on those links to make it easier to find. So
So
Yeah.
obviously, our podcast we talk about both music, albums, and movies. My
Mhm.
question for you is: do you have any films that you really like? Like, what are some of your favorite films?
Oh, I'm a huge fan of Jean-Luc Godard.
oh,
Um,
okay,
yeah, Breathless, Vivre sa vie. Yeah, really much, really into that period of French movies, but also what else do I like? I don't know. Yeah, David Lynch, obviously.
Yeah, we're big David Lynch fans,
yeah,
so
Oh
that's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah, he's great. He's great. I was watching. I forgot the name. The guy who made Enter the Void. Gaspar Noé. Gaspar Noé, I think his name is.
Yeah.
yeah. I think he's from South America somewhere. I think Argentina or something.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. He makes interesting. I actually watched that film. It's interesting. The whole movie's in that perspective of that kind of POV behind the character. It's like you see the back of the character the whole movie.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a
One
very
of the last movies I saw, I thought that was really great. There's a great Belgian movie that you guys should check out. Is Man Bites Dog.
man
Man
bites dog.
bites dog.
Okay,
Okay.
cool. I'll
It's
have
a
to
very
check that out.
cool movie. It's also it's kind of a mockumentary type movie,
Oh, cool.
Okay.
and I think it was made in the 60s or 70s, and it's about, they follow a serial killer in a
Oh.
mockumentary style, and
Oh.
Oh.
he's telling them how to kill people. He's like, yeah, if you kill a child and you want to drop it into the river, you have to put rocks in with it, because otherwise it won't go to the bottom and it'll start floating. And very funny, a bit macabre at times,
Uh-huh.
but yeah, a good piece of Belgian cinema for sure.
Okay, we'll definitely check that out. That'd be kind of fun to do an episode on that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be way cool. Do you have any like rituals or things that you do before you perform?
A live show, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, no.
No,
In fact,
that's okay.
in fact, I have the opposite of rituals, because back in the day, obviously, you go to a show, you start hitting the beers or whatever, and now the older I get, the more I'm staying away from that. So I think I have like the opposite of a ritual. I try to stay away from the rituals as much as possible, if that makes
That
any
makes sense.
sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes
So tell us, what are some of the kind of the new music that you're working on? Do you have some new music that's going to be coming out soon, or?
Yeah, I've been working on another album for the past year, which it's like 99% finished. I have to do some final mixing fix up stuff. But yeah, I work a full-time job. It's a bit hard at times to combine the music and the work and your personal life and whatever. But so actually there was a compilation album of all the EPs I did. It's called Step by Step Operation Guide. That's coming out on vinyl this year, and then I have a new
Oh, cool.
album. Yeah, I wrote a new album with like 18 songs, which I hope is also gonna come out this year. And currently, I just started working on new songs because I'm so fucking glad that that other album is done, because I can't start writing new songs unless
Until it's all
Until
the
it's
done.
finished.
yeah, unless it's finished, and I finally get to close that chapter and work on new songs. So who knows, maybe with a bit of luck it's gonna be 3 albums again this year, but I'm not gonna get ahead of myself. But
Well, that'll be awesome. We're excited to hear
yeah.
those
You
for
know,
sure.
you mentioned Step by Step Operation Guide, and I don't know if you saw this, but we did an episode where we talk about our top albums of 2024,
Oh
and at
yeah.
least on and one of my top albums was Step by Step Operation Guide.
Really?
So yeah, yeah.
Oh, thanks a lot.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's great. It's a lot of it is your previous EPs that you've put together in
Yeah.
one form, but then you also have some new stuff on there as well.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, just wanted to throw that out there. I think that uh, you're we mentioned that we thought that you we could tell that you draw inspiration from the Velvet Underground and other artists, but I do want to say you have a very unique, authentic sound.
Oh.
You are your own artist. So
Oh yeah,
yeah,
thank you very
yeah,
much.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think there's definitely influences in the music, but maybe because it's so scattered, because
yeah,
you have a bit of obviously a lot of Velvet Underground. Sometimes there's a bit of The Fall or Captain Beefheart, a bit of Spaceman 3.
oh
I
yeah,
Those are obviously bands I love a whole lot, but like I said, I try not to um get too obsessed or listen too much to it, because the
yeah,
influences are like standard in me or something. I don't know how to
yeah,
explain it. So if I write something, there's obviously gonna be like a reference or a hint of those bands somewhere in there. So,
Hmm.
but no, thank you very much. That's a very
yeah.
great compliment. Yeah.
And then where can people find you? Like, what are your socials, or how can people stay
In touch with
in
what you're
touch,
doing.
stay up to date on what you're working on?
Well, I guess I have a Facebook page. I don't really use it that often nowadays. So most of the stuff that I post is on Instagram. So, and my handle is at Lee is free, with the free has 3 E's. And yeah, that's actually because Facebook, it's basically dead anyway. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
mostly old people now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yep.
the boomers on
yeah,
Facebook.
yeah.
No, yeah, Instagram mostly. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not very good at the whole social plugging thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's probably the place where
Okay.
which is the most relevant or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So everyone go out and start following Lee on Instagram.
Yeah.
So
sweet.
Lee
definitely
Yeah,
follow.
Lee Swinnon.
Lee
Well,
Yeah.
Swinen. It's Lee.
okay.
Yeah, at least free Lee Swinen. Lee Swinen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, thanks so much for your time and for being on our podcast
Yeah,
and
this was a lot
talk
of
to you
fun.
about your music. We really appreciate it. So
I'm very psyched that you guys found my album. So yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
thank you guys for the shout out and for giving it a listen and liking it. So yeah, thanks a lot, Cole and Court. Good stuff. Bye bye. Cheers.
shaving